Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I wanted to do a reading on the compliments that people basically give you behind your back. And I got this idea from Mystic Rose, but I feel like she's not the only tarot reader who's done this reading. So many tarot readers that I've watched have done this. And I find it really cute because it's a nice pick me up. It's a nice confidence boost. It's a nice, self-love kind of thing, So I thought, why not do it? So I have 5 piles. And yeah, today is also the 111 portal, and it's the new moon in Capricorn. So I think I have or I will post a general reading, and I have put some reading up on TikTok and on Instagram. So feel free to check them out. Okay, so I have 5 piles. Pile one is the rainbow ball keychain. Pile two is the pink eye. Pile three is the alien or the UFO. Pile four is the Spaceman. I had to think for a second, like, what is that? And pile five is the Hazel eye. So go ahead and pick your piles, and then I'm going to start. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You guys chose the rainbow ball. So let's find out what compliments do you receive behind your back. So let's see. You guys chose this like colorful ball. So I do feel like people do see it as vibrant. People do see it as well read, well cultured. Like you have a great understanding when it comes to understanding different people, different places. Some of you could be Sagittarius. You could have traveled to many places. There's just something about you that's very cultured, but also very vibrant. People feel like you have many layers to you. You're very different, eccentric, but let's see. We have the skunk and the magnolia, protection. We have the ace of wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the high priestess, which is Pisces energy. We have money, and we have 25, fill the well. I didn't really draw many cards. I just wanted to rely more on my clairaudience, but I also have the writing pad there. There have been some people in the comments that are like, oh, I kind of connect to you using the writing pad, like you should use it more. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so 25, fill the well. 2 is all about partnerships, alignment, and 5 is all about change. Add them together, you get 7, which is all about learning, okay, and filling the well. So what kind of compliments do you receive? Let me use the writing pad. Okay, what other compliments does pile 1 get behind pile 1's back? This is really random, but some of you have nice hair. Because I heard hair. I heard majestic. I hear that word a lot. Majestic. What other compliments does pile 1 get? I heard system. I don't know what that's meant to mean in this context. System. I heard sparks. I heard elephant. Okay. That's very weird, but we'll unpack that. All right, so what kind of compliments does pile 1 get? Well, people like the fact that you are all about your money. Some of you could be Capricorn. Some of you could just really love money. You guys are just hustlers. People talk about the fact that your work ethic is like on point. Like you are a hard worker. And it's not just you work hard for money, but you're also somebody who you are good at what you do. You're very intelligent. You're very skilled, and people really admire that. They just love your hard work. Some of you are eccentric, so some of you are considered very different. Like you're not like everyone else. Like say for example, if you work in a certain field, I don't know if you can hear me because I'm getting a call, and I don't know if it interrupts the camera. I hate it when people call me. Please stop calling me. I hope you can still hear me. How do I get rid of this? Like, the fuck? I don't know how to get rid of it. But I hope you can still hear me. I hope it's not interrupted. Because sometimes it does. Because when I watch Amy, the infamous, is reading, sometimes when she gets a call, like the voice goes. So I hope it didn't happen for me. But yeah. So people like the fact that you work really hard, you have an amazing work ethic, you're all about your money, you're all about your coins, and no one can't tell you nothing. Some of you could be seen as someone who's stable, not just because you work hard, but like you may just have really good funds, good with your finances. You may buy things that are relatively expensive, but I don't really get an energy of you trying to stunt or flex. Like you buy what actually makes you happy, what actually fills you with joy. Like you're not trying to show off. People like the fact that you're a little bit private, okay? With this high priestess, like you keep shit to yourself. And people really like this energy because it makes you come off as mysterious, and therefore it makes them even more interested to get to know you. Because they're just like, wow, like Pawan, like it's very mysterious. It makes me want to get to know Pawan even more, you know? So you have this like mysterious energy to you. But people also feel like you're very protective of your energy, because I'm hearing I'm stingy with my love. So you don't give yourself access, or you don't give people access to yourself as easily. Like you're kind of a bit like, you can't have me that easily. You can't have me that easily. Like you're very private, and you're also very selective. And some people even see you as very intuitive. People do say that, oh, you know, Pawan is very intuitive. Pawan can sense when this is off, when this is off. You could be the type of power that when someone's moving a bit mad, a bit weird, a bit sketchy, like even if you don't have evidence, you just distance yourself. You're like, I ain't got the time for that. I don't even want to find out and then be betrayed. I'd rather just cut this person off. So people see you as someone who you're very protective. Some of you also could identify with being an introvert. So you're not really like giving yourself to just anyone and everyone. You kind of keep to yourself. You focus on your goals. You focus on your money. You may not have multiple friends, if I'm going to be honest with you, but you're more focused, and you're not really feeling like you're missing out. Like you don't feel an urge to connect with everyone. You just feel like, well, I have a few close friends and I go to work and that's about it really. But you're very intuitive. So people do see that like there's something about you where even if you identify with being a quiet person, when you do speak, people want to listen. Like people feel like, I think Pawan knows what they're talking about, because Pawan is really intelligent. Pawan is very intuitive. I just trust Pawan. Like there's something about your energy that just makes people feel like what you have to say is of substance, because you don't speak all the time, you know? But yeah, amazing work ethic with the money. Fill the well in. Again, you're hardworking. I feel like people also see you as someone who you have high standards, but you're able to fulfill those standards. So therefore you expect it to be fulfilled in return. People also talk about the fact that you've changed after a relationship you went through. It provided an opportunity for learning. Like I feel like someone in your past could have really hurt you, maybe an ex or whatever, or even a friendship, and it really hurt you, but it also transformed you. It also made you change, and you kept going. Like some people, when they go through a breakup, they become unrecognizable, they sit and wallow, they just become bitter, they become mean. But with you just decided to move forward with your life and get your money game up and keep going. You kept pushing, you just were persevering, and people see you as someone who, no matter what life throws at you, you always get back up and you move forward with life. You don't sit and dwell and say, woe is me. You don't like to be a victim. You're like, you know what, shit happens, I learned from it, and now I'm going to keep going. If anything, some of you are the alchemist. You use this to fuel like whatever you're good at, and you basically transmute all that bad energy into good energy. And people see that, and that's what people compliment you on. I don't think they word it in that way, if I'm going to be honest with you, but they word it in a way where like, wow, Pawan always gets back up no matter what happens to Pawan. Pawan is very strong. Pawan is very stoic. People won't even see you cry. Like you could be the power where people, like you could have gone through some shit, but you refuse to show that like to people. Like you'd rather just have someone, you know, not know that you've been through some stuff. But you don't cry in front of people, I'm getting. But you are very protected. Yeah, protection. People say that you are very protective of your time and your energy. You know your worth, and time is money, and you don't want to just give your time to just anyone. People also see you as a go-getter, always ready for transformations, new opportunities. You're always willing to try something new. You just always want the best of the best. You always crave new experiences. This is like the Aries energy. But there's a Piscean energy of like being very spiritual, very reflective, and people see you as very wise, very intelligent. People will actually trust you like with advice. Like if something was going wrong in someone's life, they would trust you to like ask advice from, because they feel like the way you handle pain. Like it's very motivational for people, but people see you as someone who you have many layers to you and many sides to you, but you don't show like certain sides to certain people, and people feel like that makes you very intelligent. Okay, but because of the words we the words we basically channeled were hair. So maybe people talk about the fact that you have really beautiful hair. If you're like me and you're like a Leo rising and you're like experimenting with your hair types, maybe different wigs, different hair extensions, even your real hair, rocking it natural. There's something about Leo risings that like we just always change things up with our hair. It's like the first thing people notice. So people could be commenting on the fact that you have really good hair. Whether you're a masculine or a feminine, whether you're a man or a woman, you have beautiful hair. If you're a man, you could have long hair. If you're a woman, you could have long hair. But it's not really about the length. It's just the way you style it, you know? Because this might be controversial, but I believe everybody in this planet is beautiful and handsome. But it's just a matter of how you style yourself. You could choose to, you know, do something different. Like it's all about being a bit artistic with how you look, you know? But we also have majestic here. So people see you as someone who's prestigious. They talk about how you have high standards, you know your worth, that you are royalty, you have a royal aura. People just respect you, and people see you as worthy of respect, and that's how people see you. They feel like they also respect the grind that you have going on, which may actually develop into some people feeling like they need to compete with you, but I feel like you just stay in your own lane. You're not really bothered about what everybody else is doing. We also have system, and I didn't understand why the word came up. So if that relates to you guys in any way, please help me out here, because I don't know what system had to do with anything. But when I think of system, I think of organization. I think of how things work and how things function. So people feel like you function really well. Like even if you were to not get enough sleep, you still function really well. You do the job very well. Whatever you do as a career, you do it very well. And you function in life very well. And maybe people like the fact that you're a bit more organized than they are, you know? But that's just what I'm interpreting by the word system. If that means something different to you, let me know. It could even be music system. It could be anything. Or you have a good immune system. You know, there's something that functions well. But we also have sparks. So there's something about you, again, with the Ace of Wands. You guys have a really high spark to you. You guys could be high vibrational people, that people feel very drawn to you. And no matter what people put you through, no one can dim your spark. No one can take a spark out of you. You still remain happy. You still remain healthy. You still remain in a good spirit. You still remain positive, you know? And we have elephant. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know what that was referring to, if I'm going to be honest with you. Elephant, in terms of compliments, maybe people feel like you're very stoic. Maybe people feel like you're very friendly, because that's what I think of elephants. Very stoic but friendly. You know, they're not really intimidating animals, even though they're bigger than most animals. People like the fact that, you know, you may have a resting bitch face, or you may be very intimidating, but when people actually take the time to talk to you, you're very friendly, you're very sweet, you're very playful. It also could be like when you walk into a room, you know that saying like, address the elephant in the room. It's like when you walk into the room, it's like, I have arrived. You know, people just see your energy is very strong, it's very bright, and it's like people want to address it, but no one wants to address the elephant in the room. You see what I did there? But that's all I'm getting. These are really beautiful compliments to get. I can't even lie. Like, way to go, pal 1. I'm gonna move on to pal 2 because I got someone to be, and I got a call, so you know. Okay, pile 2, 1344, pile 2, you guys chose the pink eye. So what kind of compliments do you guys receive? So when I see pink eye, usually I associate with something bad. However, because this is a reading about compliments, I feel like pink is associated with love, self-love, romance. So I feel like even the healing energy. So I feel like because it's an eye, I think people like the fact that you see the good in others. You could be very empathetic or very sweet, very understanding person. Like you like to look at things from a point of view of love. Like when someone does you dirty, you think, instead of saying, oh, you know, fuck that person, you're just like, you know what, maybe that person had insecurity issues. I pray that they work on it. Like you are kill them with kindness. You guys could be Cancers, but this is like kill them with kindness kind of energy. So you look at people with loving eyes, you know, but let's see. Or maybe you're someone who, when people look at you, is very easy to fall in love with you as well, you know. We have the goat and the willow, overcoming obstacles. We have the world card, which is Sagittarius energy. We have the Four of Wands, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, fire signs. We have ego in reverse. We have 37, clean up your mess. And 3 is all about support, networking, friendships. And 7 is all about learning. Add them together, you get 10, which rounds to 1, which is all about new beginnings. So what are the compliments people give you, pile 2? Oh, I forgot about the writing pad. What compliments do pile 2 get behind pile 2's back? Oh, I heard attention. I heard anatomy. Okay. I heard look back at it. Okay. What kind of compliments does pile 2 get? I heard chastity. I heard yearning. Okay, so all right, so let's go with the cards first. So the kind of compliments that pile 2 you guys get behind your back is people like the fact that you're someone who's willing to learn from things. As in, we have ego reverse. So maybe at some point you used to operate more out of your ego, because it kept you safe. You may have felt like, you know what, I don't want to get myself hurt. So say, for example, it doesn't even have to come off in a bad way. Like maybe you're the type of person that you feel like you need to be strong, so you may not cry, or you may not ask for help. Or you may want to present yourself as everything's okay. If someone hurts you or lets you down, you want to pretend that everything is okay, for example. But I feel like you guys are slowly coming out of that. You're slowly starting to realize, like, no, like, if something is hurting me or something upsets me, I'm going to assert myself. I want my voice to be heard. You're starting to see your value. You're like, if something is not okay, I don't want to just ignore it and pretend like everything's not okay. I'm gonna let you know something is not okay because you're basically disrespecting me or you're hurting me. You're becoming more vulnerable. Maybe before you used to be more in your ego to protect yourself because maybe you felt like people didn't care, people couldn't understand. But now it's like you're more vulnerable. You're more outspoken and you don't take bullshit from anyone. And people really like this change in you, especially people who you've grown up with. People like the fact that you've transformed. With the World card, you've ended cycles of people who are toxic. You've ended an old way of being or seeing things in the world. People also talk about the fact that you are well traveled as well, similar to part 1 a little bit. Like people like the fact that you are very intelligent in so many different ways. But it may not have to always be in the academic way. It could just be like you're very intelligent about life. Like you've learned a lot about life. Some of you who have gone to, this will only resonate like this part, what I'm about to say. If you've gone to therapy, people acknowledge the fact that they've seen a big improvement in your behavior, in who you are. They feel like it's working for you. Okay, and people also talk about, the way you overcome struggles, because this is the goat and the willow, overcoming obstacles. People like the fact that you are very strong. No matter what you get put through, you always overcome it, because you always come up with an idea, but you know when it's time to let things go. Like, I feel like this is a part where you've gone through some shit, and especially when it comes to relationships, if you really value someone, like you really love someone, it can be hard to let go. But I feel like you've come to a point in your life where you know the signs of when it's time to let go, because you've learned in a hard way, right? But people see you as someone who takes accountability. Maybe that's why also ego's in reverse and the World card. Like people see you as, they say that you're maturing a lot, and you take accountability. Whenever something is wrong, whenever something goes wrong, you're not afraid to say I'm sorry. You're not afraid to admit where you've gone wrong. You're not afraid to clean your mess. But I also feel like you are now embracing new things. Like maybe in the past you may feel like, oh, I want to stick to what's comfortable, but now you're like, well, if I want better out of this life, I gotta have to put myself out there. So I feel like this is also just new beginnings. Like you're someone who, like, you'll clean up the mess, like you get your closure, and then you move forward with your life and you transform and change. And people really admire this about you. They see you as very strong. People also compliment the fact that they see you as like wifey/hubby material. People see you as stable, but also very loving, very caring. And if you're a woman, you carry a lot of feminine energy, but maybe you had been repressing it a bit long or forced into situations where you couldn't really fully be feminine. But now, like, people see you as you're getting into that mode of feeling feminine, and people actually want to date you, pal, too. People see you as someone who's a catch. Like they would want to settle down with you. Like if they were to choose a wife, they would choose a wife like you. If you're a husband, people would choose a husband like you. You're very compassionate. People say that you're a very compassionate person, but let's look at the words we wrote down. So with attention, people feel like you get attention, but it's like you're not looking for it. Like I'm getting pal to you guys may not be the type to even want attention on you. You may feel like, oh, I'm trying to avoid the spotlight, but you naturally get attention. People actually try, like if you have social media, people actually try to search you up, even if it's private, even if you don't post anything. People want to like see what you got going on, so you may attract attention even if you don't want attention. Okay, I feel like power two is a kind of power you wouldn't even want attention, but it just comes to you. Okay, and people just see you as interesting. People find you like someone who they want to get close to. Okay, we also have an anatomy, so I think of like bodies and like places on those bodies. People find you sexy. Okay, people find you very attractive, very gorgeous. Some people are very naughty, like they want to, they want to do things with you because they find you attractive, and it's not even just out of lust. Like people would actually want to marry you, settle down with you. I think it's this lustful energy is more like because I feel like for you guys, you come across as very innocent or very like lady in the streets, freak in the sheets, or very classy, refined. So it makes people feel like I can't imagine Pal 2 wanting to do this and this and this. So it makes people fantasize about that. Your anatomy, they find you very beautiful, but they know like you're very classy. They'd want to wife you up or husband you up. But look back at it, yeah. People say if some of you have a nice body and a nice butt, so people find you very attractive, and that's the compliments you'll be getting. But we also have chastity, so there is an purity to you, an innocence to you. Some of you could be virgins, or some of you could have lost your virginity to one person and you're still with that person. But there's something pure about your energy, and you don't even have to be a virgin, but like it's just like you could be Virgos, but there's just something about your energy that screams feminine. I want to take care of Pal 2. You're very classy. Even if you've, I'm not judging, even if you've had a high body count, for fuck's sake, like you still carry this good innocence aura. But I also feel like people compliment you on that because they see it as very, very feminine. But people also compliment you on the fact that you are a very genuine person. Like no one can chat shit about you. Like if they do, there's something seriously wrong with them. Like people see you as someone who's very well-intentioned, very genuine, very stable. You feel like home. Like you make people feel heard and seen and loved and acknowledged, and you make people feel comfortable. I'm not surprised if this is an empathic group. People might open up to you randomly and tell you stuff that you didn't even ask to know, But we also have yearning. So people do yearn after you. You guys could be a little bit of a tease where and it's not even on purpose. Maybe you have very seductive eyes. There's something about your eyes that are gorgeous. You make people want more of you because you're so you don't give that much of you, but you're very caring. You're very loving. When it comes to giving love and taking care of people, you're willing to do that. But it's like there's so much that people don't know about you because you could be a little bit on the reserved end. But people really like the fact that you're someone who they'd want to settle down with. You're someone who takes accountability. You're someone who overcomes challenges. You're someone who you're not afraid to become mature. You've matured a lot, and you're not afraid to let your feelings know or to say what's on your mind, okay? But you look at the world with a loving eye. You're a very kind-hearted person, and people see you as very genuine. But you command attention. I think it's because you're very beautiful. You're like the whole package. You're like beautiful, but you're also caring and empathetic and sweet. And it's like perfect for a mother or a wife or even just a friend, really. It's just a really good energy to have, So I feel like people just can sense your good heart from a distance, which is really nice, okay? But that's all I'm getting for Pal 2. I'm going to move on to Pal 3. Okay. So 2404, Pal 3, you guys chose the UFO. What kind of compliments do people give to you or give about you behind your back? And you guys chose a UFO. You guys could be Aquarius or Pisces or just anything different, right? But people may think you're very eccentric. You stand out. You're very rare. Like, I hate to come off like a pick-me, but you're not like the others, if that makes sense. You're not like the other women. You're not like the other men. You're just very rare, one of a kind. No one could, basically there can never be another you. You're original, okay? It makes me think of that meme when that girl's like, when she tells someone to shut up, she goes, shut up. And then the girl replies, no, you shut up. And then the other girl's just like, you're like an Alibaba version of me, relax. You know, it's giving me that meme. But yeah, you're very unique, very different. Okay, I heard spiritual. Maybe I should write that down. Spiritual. In fact, while I'm at it, what kind of compliments does Pile 3 get behind their back? I heard practical. I heard beautiful. Oh my God, I heard cunning. Okay, anything else? What kind of compliments does Pile 3 get behind their back? Digest, okay. Oh, I'm getting another call. I hope this doesn't interrupt the call. I'm just going to leave the words here because I'm getting a call and I don't know if my voice, if you guys can still hear me, let me know. Because when I upload these videos, I don't really watch them back. But sometimes when I'm watching Amy the Infamous, pick a card readings, when she's talking, the phone cuts off. So I hope it doesn't cut off with this. But yeah, hope it doesn't. Hope you can still hear me. Okay, we have the Moth and the Eucalyptus and ending. We have the 6 of Wands. We have the 9 of Cups. We have the Sacral Chakra. And we have 35, say yes. 3 is a number of support, connections, networking, and 5 is a number of change. Add them together, you get 8, which is all about abundance. So I'm just getting collaboration vibes. But I also heard, say yes to heaven. Say yes to me. So yeah, you have 5 sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But you don't have to be those signs. What kind of compliments do you guys get behind your back? Sorry, the call kind of threw me off. The kind of compliments that you get, Path 3, is people like how creative you are. We have the Sacral Chakra. So that's all about creativity, pleasure, 5th house energy. It rules the color orange. Some of you could be a Leo, but you're very creative, very eccentric, very pleasurable. Like there's something sexy and something seductive about your energy that people just really love. People also may feel like people talk about how attractive you are, how sexy you are. You get people who do want love with you, but you also get people who may want to have a good time with you and that's it. But there's something very alluring about your energy. We do have the 6 of Wands here. So people do see you successful. People talk about how you're successful or you're destined for success. People also talk about the fact that you're a good catch. No one in this world is like you. It kind of reminds me of Alien Superstar, that song by Beyonce. She says, no one can think like me. I'm twisted. I'll contradict it. Keep him addicted. You know, so there's something about you that's very eye-catchy, popular. You guys could be influencers. You could be tarot readers. You could be well-known. Everyone loves you. You're a popular person. You're a big catch. You get attention. Success is basically meant for you, Pile 3. This is a successful pile or someone who's meant for success. And it's through doing something creative, something out of the norm. And because you guys chose the UFO, it's very eccentric. It's not a traditional job. Okay, people see you as someone who you always get your own way. With the 9 of Cups, when there's a will, there's a way. So you always get everything in your favor, however you want, whenever you want, however you want things done. People see you as blessed. You know, you're very lucky. But people also see the 9 of Cups as you put yourself first. And they like that because they know it's coming from a place of self-love and not arrogance. So people really like the fact that you love yourself. You have an amazing relationship with yourself. But you're also very popular and very successful. You're always willing to say yes. I feel not in a people-pleasing kind of way, but in a way where you're willing to help people. And you're willing to say yes to opportunities. But this is also talking about, because I heard, say yes to heaven, say yes to me. So this is also giving me the energy that people want to ask you out on a date. People want to ask you to be their boo. Okay, there could be someone particular who wants to ask you out. Like a lot of people really like you because they see you as a catch. You're popular. You have lots of options. People say that who doesn't love pile three, you know? But people want to ask you out, pile three, and they're hoping you say yes. And I feel like some of these are friends. Like friends want to hang out with you, or they want to change the friendship into more. For others of you, people want to collab with you. People just want to be around you. People just want to be your friend. There's something that's changed about you though. I feel like, no shade to you, pile three. I feel like you weren't always this loved or like this, but there's just something about you that screams, I'm working towards success. That's where I'm headed. And people know you're headed that way and they want to be part of it. They don't want you to leave them behind, okay? There's something that changed, something that transformed. Okay, so we have the eucalyptus and an ending. So you could have been a certain way, but you worked on yourself, you've done some shadow work, and you've basically killed the old version of you, and now this new version of you is popping out. And people are realizing how unique, how influential, how rare you are, and how you stand out from the crowd, and people see you as this catch. But I feel like not everybody's going to be lucky enough to experience you. That's why people have no choice but to watch you from a distance. Like I feel like in love options, like not everyone will experience you. You're very selective with who you give your time and love to. But that one person that you will, oh my God, they're very lucky. Okay, everybody admires you. Everyone finds you like attractive, creative, sensual. There's just something very sexy and stunning about you. Okay, but the words I channeled was spiritual. So you guys are very spiritual. People talk about if you make it publicly known that you're into spirituality, people find that really cool. That you know certain things and that other people don't know. You could be tarot readers like me, and they really like the fact that you know shit. They don't know how you know it, but you know it. And you're just very spiritual. You have a lot of trust in God and in the divine. And you trust your intuition. You know shit. And it makes some people uncomfortable, but it makes other people really intrigued. Because some people may not even believe in this stuff. But you kind of are, you could be an advocate for this. Because you could make anyone believe anything, okay? You could start a fucking cult if you wanted to, Power 3. People would follow it. But don't do that. We also have practical, so you guys are very like hands-on. I feel like people talk about the fact that when you say you're gonna do something, you do it. You're not all talk. Like when you say you're gonna do something, you do it, and that's it really. You stand on business. Let's just put it that way. We also have beautiful, so people do talk about your appearance. They find you beautiful, but I'm not just getting on the outside. You're also beautiful on the inside, and I guess that's linked to the spiritualness. Like people sense that aura, that energy. You guys could radiate from your heart chakra or your sacral chakra, or you guys could have a golden aura or a pink aura or a green aura or a purple aura or a yellow aura. There's something about your aura or an orange aura that kind of radiates like and attracts people in. You guys could be sirens, like you carry that energy, seductive. But we also have cunning. So when I heard that, I'm like, cunning has a weird connotation to it. Like cunning gives me the energy of like someone who's plotting and scheming, but I think it just means people like the fact that no one can manipulate you. Like you could manipulate people if you wanted to. If you want to use your powers for dark, you could, but you don't. Like people see you as someone who cannot be manipulated, but you're very intelligent. Like you can sense the bullshit from a mile away, and you can play dumb and act like you act like you're following the manipulation, but you're not. Like you know damn fucking well who to trust and who not to trust. And you guys could be Geminis, and I'm not just trying to gas myself up, but people like whenever I say like, okay, I'm a Gemini, people are like, oh, I don't like Geminis. I'm like, why? They're just like, oh, they could be two-faced, they could be so cunning and manipulative, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that's how we're being viewed. So that's why I'm saying Gemini. So you guys could be seen as very clever, very cunning. Like if you want to manipulate something into your will, you could. You guys could also be good at manipulating energy, magic-wise, manifestations. Things work out for you. And one thing I will admit when it comes to myself is I can be manipulative when it comes to opportunities. Like say, for example, when I was in secondary school, which is basically high school, I think I was in year 9, and I was always good at media. I was always good at media studies. My school was a media studies kind of school. So I was good at editing and basically making things out of scratch and producing music videos, producing films, producing all sorts of stuff. I was really good with computers, right? And we had a chance to have an extra GCSE, which is basically an extra qualification. And I wanted that. But then you had to apply for it at a certain time, and I missed the deadline, so I didn't get in. So then there was another girl who had the same name as me who got in, but then she dropped out. But I instead I walked in that room and I said to the teacher, I said, oh, I got in. And he was just like, oh, I think it was a different Aisha that got in. And I said, that's weird because I got a letter saying that I got in and my name is that name, right? And then he was just like, oh, well, you know what? It's okay. We can squeeze one person in. And that's how I got on to doing the course. And I got, I think, a B in that. So I feel really proud of myself. So I basically manipulated my way into getting an extra qualification. So when I saw cunning, that made me think of like, you could be cunning like that. Like not cunning as in you're going out here breaking hearts and being a damn devil. I'm talking about like you want opportunities and you see the opportunity and you manipulate in your favor. Like you could be like that. And people really find that cool and fascinating. They find you really smart, okay? And the funny thing is no one knew that I did that. Like because I was too embarrassed to tell my friends who did get in. I was too embarrassed to tell them that I didn't. So I didn't even tell them. I just lied to them. I'm like, yeah, I got in as well. But I didn't. But I forced myself to get in. So I felt kind of smart, not gonna lie. But we also have digest. So people see you as someone who, you're very good at digesting a lot of information. You may have a great memory. You may have a photographic memory. You're a vault. So if people trust you with the secrets. People say that you're very good at keeping their secrets and you're very good at keeping your own secrets. And when someone tells you something, you remember it for a lifetime because you pay attention to detail. You guys could be Virgos or you could be Geminis because those two signs are known to be analytical. So you pay attention to everything and you digest every bit of information that needs to be digested in. So people really find your brain amazing. People find you very intelligent, very beautiful, creative, seductive, a big catch, popular. People see you as very transformative, like an ending. You're not afraid to cut people off who are not good for you. Like you feel like this part could have like cut their hair at some point. Like you're like, fuck it, I need a trim. And like you're always transforming and ending cycles of people or situations that no longer serve you. It kind of reminds me of Alice Love Pick Exists. Like Alice Love Exists Visions. You know, the one that used to do picker cards, but now she does more of like collective reads. It's kind of like she will start one thing, do it for a while and realize, oh, I'm feeling called to do this other thing. You know, you guys carry that same energy. People say that like, you're not afraid to start things new and end other things that you've done. So overall, people find you beautiful, spiritual, practical. Yeah. So very like hardworking. You are a man or a woman of your word. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. You know, you don't like this. You like this. You like to just do things. So people do see you in that way. But that's what I'm getting for pile 3. I'm going to move on to pile 4 because I need to call that person back who keeps calling me. Because I need to see them today. We have a project to work on. Okay. We have 3729. You guys pick the spaceship. What compliments does pile 4 get behind pile 4's back? Okay. People like the fact that you're very observant and very detached. Like you're not very emotional. You're more logical, very intelligent, more logical based. Like people see you as someone who you don't really get affected by many things. Like say, for example, if someone was to come to you and say, oh my God, that person's talking about you or they said this about you. You don't really feed it much energy. You don't really feed it attention. You don't really give a reaction. You could have dealt with narcissists for some of you and you've learned that giving people a reaction fuels them. So you've learned not to give people a reaction. And yeah, I feel that people see this very detached, hard to read, but they find this cool because it makes them, I don't know if these people are seeking for validation, but it makes them want to earn your interest in them. It makes them feel like, oh, like, please pay attention to me. It makes people clingy onto you because of how detached and spaced out you are. For a small percentage of you guys could be neurodivergent. So you may come across as very detached and just in your own little world. And people find that cool because they find it cute because you may have many hobbies that occupy you. Okay, but let's see. We have bashfulness in reverse, okay? The possum and the peony, bashfulness in reverse. So that's what I was similar to what I was saying. I'm like, someone could be, whenever people talk shit about you or people trying to stunt on you or talk shit on your name or make you feel insecure or come at you, you don't really give a fuck. You're just like, all right. Like you have a nonchalant. That's the word I'm looking for. People like the fact that you're nonchalant because they find it cool because they lack that trait and they want to have that trait. You catch my drift? Okay. We have the 5 of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. A lot of fire signs in this whole pile so far. Water signs as well. Six of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have death endings. And we have 47, decide the outcome. 4 is all about stability and protection. And 7 is all about learning. And then add them together, I think you get 11, which is all about manifestation, but around to 2, which is about partnership. Okay. So what compliments does Power 4 get behind Power 4's back? What compliments does Power 4 get behind Power 4's back? I heard empty. I heard locked. Loyalty. Symphony. Psychology. Why do they all rhyme? Guys, I think it's because I'm an artist. Anyways, so what kind of compliments does Power 4 get behind your back? People like the fact that you're nonchalant and nothing can really piss you off. I think it's because you guys are very strong-minded and very sophisticated, and you've dealt with enough bullshit as it is. And I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, because this will only resonate with some of you, but some of you were bullied as a kid. Like, you grew up being treated badly. You may have gone through a lot of bullying in school. So I think you realize when you give people a reaction to things, it kind of fuels them, because a lot of people who want to bother you, Power 4, are just insecure and they just want any bit of attention they can get from you. If anything, they're more like a fan, okay? But you also have the ability to make people obsess over you, because I did see 4111 as I said that, and I associate that with getting a message. So you make people clingy. I think it's because of how nonchalant you are. Again, some of you could be neurodivergent, but you're just in your own little world. You just don't really pay everyone any mind. You're in your own little lane. You focus on your own grass to not even bother if there's anything greener, okay? And it makes people want to earn your validation and your attention. It makes people feel a bit clingy and obsessed over you because of how detached you are and very nonchalant. No one can get under your skin. People talk about how you are solid. No one can get under your skin. No one can intimidate you. And I think that's what intimidates other people. But no one can really rock your shit, you know? And it makes people respect you, but it also makes people want to antagonize you as well, okay? Yeah, with the bashfulness in reverse, I feel like people, even if they make up rumors about you, you don't give a shit. Like, people like your I don't give a fuck attitude, because you're just like, it is what it is. Did I do that? Like, this is you when you hear rumors. Oh, did I do that? Oh, that's nice to know. Good shit, I don't really care. Like, you just have this I don't give a fuck energy, and people love that. You could be Aquarius, you could be Sagittarius, but yeah, you trigger a lot of people, Power 4. Like, this is supposed to be about compliments, but people who are your haters, for example, they feel really triggered. You trigger insecure people. You make people want to fight, okay, with you, but you also make people want to fight for you. So people may resort to insecure tactics to get your attention, Power 4, but you don't really pay them any mind, and it makes them want you even more. So I guess the compliment people talk about is you're irresistible. You're someone who everybody wants to get close to but can't get close to, because you have a little bubble, okay? People really do tend to miss you a lot. There's something nostalgic about your energy. You make people feel like they've met you somewhere. I would not be surprised if everybody thinks that you are their soulmate, Power 4. People feel like, where have I met Power 4 before? I feel very drawn to Power 4. I really like Power 4, but I don't know why. Like, I feel drawn. Like, you could have a very magnetic energy or mysticism energy to you. People really miss you. When you leave someone's life, because I feel like this is a pile that just don't give a fuck. You act as if you don't even see anyone. You act like no one else is irrelevant. Like, no one else is relevant to you. So I feel like because of you carry this energy around, you make people want you even more and miss you. You live in people's minds rent-free, okay? Because we have death and ending. So I feel like you cut people off. Whenever people act weird, you just cut them off. You could have also transformed. Maybe you weren't always this way. You guys could be also Capricorns as well, because Capricorns also don't take bullshit from anyone. They cut people off. They cut the crap. They don't like drama, okay? but you could have transformed. Maybe you were not always like this. You could have been a people pleaser. You could have been really sweet and very nice to people, but then people just didn't really appreciate it. And then people just started moving mad sneaky. So you just decided to just cut people off and become this I don't give a fuck person. But people really like the fact that you take your time when it comes to things. There's something about you that appreciates quality in things and people. Like, you would rather have one friend that is a high quality friend than have a bunch of friends. You would rather have one person that you love than have a bunch of options. Like, you prefer quality over quantity. So even when it comes to your romantic partners, people talk about the fact that you're very good at selecting people. Like, you don't want someone who's broke. I'm not being rude to broke people, but I'm just saying, like, you may have high standards. Like, you don't want someone who isn't really on your level or isn't intelligent or isn't really, like, they're just not it. Like, you're very selective with who you choose as a partner, because we have to decide the outcome. So people see you as very analytical, and you're very good at making good life decisions in general, not just in love, but in general. And people really like the fact that your mind is like that. People like the fact that you're very good at making decisions. You're very mature. You're very smart. And people also talk about the fact that nothing really can bother you, because people feel like you have a high sense of self-esteem and you love yourself, so no one can really make you feel uncomfortable. No one can make you question your worth, because you already know your worth. And that's the energy I'm getting. When it comes to the words that I channeled, we have empty. So people feel like you, I don't know if this is a compliment, but people feel like you don't feel. Like, if someone says something rude to you, like, you don't cry. You're just like, okay, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. Like, people feel like you have what it takes to break their heart, because empty feels like there's nothing that can really shake you. Like, nothing, no one can take anything from you, because you're very detached from everything as it is. So people may see you in that kind of way as empty, not necessarily like, oh my God, I feel incomplete without anyone. It's like, maybe people see you as very transparent as well, because when I think of empty, I think of a glass with nothing in it, but you could see through it. So maybe it's like, people see through you because you're very transparent. Like, what you see is what you get. You're very real. You're down to earth, and that's it. It's like, you're not trying to hide anything. But empty, I'm also getting, like, with you, I feel like people just see you as someone who, you know, there's nothing that you're like holding on grips for that anyone can take away from you, because it's just like, well, I'm already detached from it. Take it. Some of you could also be a minimalist. So your house may not have many things, or you may not feel like you need to buy a lot of things. You may just like to live your life in a very simple way. So that's what also makes you think of empty. People also like the fact, because we have locked, people like the fact that you don't allow people to get that close to you, but it makes them want to get close to you even more. I don't know if this is an ego thing, but locked, I'm also getting loyalty, because we also have loyalty under locked, and I feel like they go hand in hand. Because when I wrote the word locked, I'm also thinking of, once we're locked in, ain't no switching up. So when you have made a select group of friends, or you're with people you really care about, you stay with those people. Some of you have had friendships with people for many years, and you stayed with the same people. Like, some of you are just very, once we're locked in, ain't no switching up kind of energy. You're a loyal friend and you're a loyal person. So people also know that you're a very loyal person. So it's almost like they want to be close to you, but they don't know how to get close to you, because you're a little bit detached. You have a bit of a wall up, but at the same time, you're very blunt and you're very honest, and people like that. People respect it. Even if the sensitive people can't handle it, they respect it. We also have symphony. So I like the fact that people, with you, everything flows well. Like, people like the fact that your life is in flow. Like, whatever happens, happens. Like, you are the type of person where if it comes, it comes. If it goes, it goes. If it stays, it stays. Like, you have that energy where you don't force anyone to do anything. You're not an insecure person. Like, say, for example, if you have a woman or a man, a partner, I should say, who, like they left their phone unlocked, and like you saw messages from another person and they were cheating, you're the type of person where like, oh, that sucks. I really wanted this relationship to last. Now I'm just gonna have to dump them and move on with my life. What a shame. Like, you just move on quickly. Like, you just go whatever the flow the world is moving at. It doesn't mean it won't hurt you. Like, you're still a human being. You're not a sociopath. But it's like, you know, like, well, I guess this needed to teach me something. maybe I should higher my expectations, or maybe I should do this. Like you take your lessons and you learn from it, and you're like, well, I guess it had to happen in this way. Like you're very like spiritual in that kind of way. Like you flow within a symphony when it comes to life. Okay, but we also have psychology, so people feel like you could manipulate them if you wanted to. Like you're very smart. People see you as more logic based though. If you're reading this like, no, I'm very emotional, maybe you don't show it. Maybe people just don't get that vibe from you. But yeah, I think that's why we have bashfulness in reverse. It's like you don't really care to back chat anyone, you don't care to talk shit about anyone, and you don't care who talks shit about you either, because it doesn't pay your rent. You're like, does this pay my rent? No, it doesn't. So I don't give a fuck. Like you're giving straight up Aquarius, Sagittarius vibes. Like I don't give a fuck. You know, but you make people miss you, especially people who've done you dirty, people who've done you wrong. You make them feel guilty about it. I want to rectify things, and they feel like, oh, you know, Pal 4 was the best person I ever had. You make people miss you, but you make people fight over you and fight with you. Okay, but it's like you're not with the shits. You couldn't give a shit. You know, like you're very honest and very blunt, and people may interpret that as like, oh, did they go through depression? Are they just sad? Are they just bitter? But it's like, no, you just respect people. Like everyone deserves to know the truth. You know. But yeah, people feel like you just don't feel because you are this astronaut. But this could also be you guys like to travel a lot, and people feel like you're very blessed financially to be able to travel from here to here to here to here. But people like the fact that you don't give a fuck. Like people find you badass and they look up to you. And I'm getting a sense that you weren't always like that. Like I feel like you were not always like that. You were once very giving at some point, but you said fuck that. But you made really good decisions in life revolving around your own stability. If you're in a job and you don't like it, you're not afraid to leave because you know you have another job lined up. Or in a relationship, if you know like if someone has not treated you right, you know you will find another person because you are a catch yourself. So you learn from things and you're not afraid to change things up, and it makes people find you admirable. I feel like if you're a woman and you're like this, you have men who want to be with you, but they're also scared of you because they feel like you'd cut them out. They feel like your standards are too high, or you would basically make them insecure. And they feel like for those men who have bad intentions for these women, like they know they can't get away with it. They know they can't get one over you, so they don't even bother. So that's the energy you exude. That's all I'm getting. Pile number 4. I'm going to move on to pile number 5. Thank you for watching. So 50, 46, pile 5. You guys chose the Hazel eye. Ooh, so Hazel eye. So I just interpret this as a normal eye. Like I don't really see like any color meaning behind it. But you guys could be very analytical people. People see you as someone who's very attentive. You have a great eye for detail. You could be a Virgo, could be a Gemini, but you pay attention to detail. But let's see. You're very observant. We have the Bull and the Pumpkin. We have confidence. We have the Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have earth sign energy, 6 of Pentacles. We have job and finances. And we have number 2, start anew. 2 is all about partnerships. So what kind of compliments does pile 5 get behind pile 5's back? I heard architect. Architect? I heard official. I heard mind blown. I heard cactus. I heard show. That's all I'm getting. So what kind of compliments do people give about you, pile 5? People like the fact that you're very confident. People see you as someone who's very confident. You could have Leo in your chart as well. You're someone who's very confident. You love yourself. You're not afraid to put yourself out there. Maybe that's why the word show was coming up. Show is all about, putting a performance. So people like the fact that when you walk into a room, you show up and you show out. You could be well dressed. There's something about fashion I'm getting. You're well dressed, you're the best dressed. People like the fact that you always take pride in your appearance and you have high self-esteem for how you look. Even in your job, like no matter what you do as a living, people see that. People like the fact that you're very hardworking, always employed with this job and finances. You're always about your money. People actually like the fact that you have a good job, no matter what it is. Lots of people actually want a job like what you do. You could do something online, or you could do something self-employed, or even if it's working for people. Like some people just feel like, you have a good job, or you just love your job so much it makes people feel like maybe they should do your job as well. But there's something about being analytical. You're very analytical, and people really like the fact that you pay attention to them. You're very attentive towards them. People see you as very well balanced. Like, you give back the same energy you receive. So if someone's giving you good vibes, supporting you, loving you, you give that same energy back. But if someone is being snaky or shady, you just block them. You just don't even give any more of your energy. You're very selective with your time and your energy. You decide carefully who you want to invest in and what you want to invest in, even situations. And people respect that about you because you're confident and you know your worth. People see us very ambitious with this Knight of Swords, especially with the jobs and finances. People see you as very ambitious. They feel like you have your dreams, like you're trying to aim for the moon and you can make it, because people actually believe in you. But I also get that you're very, like, you're not afraid to confront people. Like, you're very confident. There's something about being vulnerable. Like, you're not afraid to ask people questions that are personal. You're not afraid to find out things. You're not afraid to cry if you need to. You're not afraid to admit where you've gone wrong. You can take accountability. There's just something about feeling like you love yourself, you're secure in yourself, and you're ambitious. You're not afraid to go after the things that you want in life. And even if it is a confrontation, you're not afraid to let people know, hey, listen, I got a bone to pick with you. Or even if it's like just anything, you confront any problem or situation or people head on, and people respect that about you. We have number 2, which is start anew. So you're not afraid to start new things, especially with the Knight of Swords. It's like you're not afraid to try new things, new opportunities. If you've left one door is closed, you're not afraid to look for the next one. With the number 2 on it, I feel like this is even in regards to love. Maybe you guys for a long time didn't trust anyone, but you've been doing a lot of healing, and the amount of healing you've done in yourself is reflective on your willingness to try love again. And this could be a current energy. So people like the fact that even though you may have been hurt in love, you're not afraid to try again. You're not afraid to say, you know what, maybe I want to give love a try, because we do have start anew. So it's like, I'll do this again. But whatever you're doing in terms of work or whatever you're wanting to do, you're on the right path, because 2 is also about alignment as well. But yeah, there's something about show. So your stage presence, there's something about you. Like, people really like the fact that when you show up to somewhere, it's basically gonna be big and vibey and good energy. Okay. We also have cactus as the word. So I feel like people see you as very sharp, very intelligent, but also very protective. Like, I feel like anybody who tries to harm you will harm themselves, because it's like a cactus. As soon as you touch it, it hurts you. So if anyone who tries to put hands on you, not physically, but metaphorically, if anyone tries to send evil eye, you always return to send it back. Some of you do that ritual. But no one can harm you. Anyone who tries to harm you gets hurt in the process, but you're also very sharp and witty, very protected, highly favored by God. Okay, we also have mind blown. So people really feel like there's something about you that is just very, like, mind blowing, very different, but very cool. Like, I think people like the fact that it's not just your aesthetics, not that you just dress nice, but I think people have pre-assumptions about you. So they think you're too beautiful to be that smart, or you're too beautiful to I don't know, do this kind of career, or you're too like, people just have a false assumption about you, and they're mind blown when you defeat stereotypes. So people like the fact that you defeat stereotypes on a daily basis. Okay, we have official. So I feel like you guys could be influencers, but I feel like people see you as someone who is very official. You could even do a job that requires being a more official, but something about your prestigeness, something about being highly favored, highly valued. People, you may have a lot of imitations. Like, people may try to copy you a lot, but no one could do it better than the original. Okay, like, you are the blueprint. See what I did there? I have a song called Blueprint. Please check that song out. But no one could do it like you. Okay, there's something official. Like, when people do like their own version of whatever you do, like, it's not as great. But when you do it, it shines. It's very original. Okay. But we also have architect. So that's all about sketching. Architecture is all about sketching town planning, basically, like buildings of what you want to build, but you sketch it first, right? That's what an architect does. So I think people see you as someone who's visionary, like you have very great plans ahead of time. Like you've already mapped out how you see your life and what you want to achieve and where you're working towards. You've already mapped out a certain plan that you want to go towards. And I feel like as a result, like you're following that plan and it's working out for you, or it's destined to work out for you. So people see you as someone who's very good at planning your future. Like you know what you want, you know what you came here to be, especially if your job is something that you can't really hide from other people. Like if you're online, like everyone's going to see what you want in life. But people see you as someone, you're mapping out your future, and they really think that you are very organized in that kind of way, but very official. There's just something about you that's very like, you stand out, the one of a kind, very mind blown. If people look at you, because I feel like the way you look does not represent who you are. So you could be someone who looks, for example, young, but you're very mature. Or you could be someone who looks very pretty, or what they call bimbo-y, but you're very intelligent, you know, or, you know, maybe, this is going to sound bad, but maybe some of you, like if you were the type of person to dress, I don't know, ratchet, whatever that means, or ghetto, or you're not well put together, people get so shocked when they get to know you and you're very well spoken. Or you may not wear fancy brands, but your bank balance is a lot. Like there's something that you defeat a stereotype of and people don't expect it, you know? But you are highly protected and people see that. When people do you dirty, they hurt themselves. Karma is your best friend. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was interesting. And yeah, people love your confidence. People love your confidence. They wish they had it. But that's what I'm getting. You're giving love a try again. So people feel like you are attracting love and it's working. But that's what I'm getting. I hope that was helpful. Take care. Bye.